Hi everyone, my name is Liz Million and I am a children's book illustrator and author, and you might have seen me before in your area, in your schools or your libraries, but today I am going to be doing a workshop for Reading Pictures Seeing Stories Festival 2022. Da, 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 da. So if you love drawing as much as I like drawing, or even if you think you're a little bit rubbish, then join me in my draw along today, because you might actually learn something, yes, and you might also improve your drawing skills, because I get a lot of people come up to me saying, I can't draw a thing. Everybody can draw, just some people can draw better than others, and I think a lot of it is down to confidence, which I have lots of, and also practice, and I draw every single day. Now, there are lots and lots of things going on over April and May to do with the festival. This session is going to be all about traditional story characters. I think the famous books from when I was little, they were full of quite creepy characters, quite scary characters, and instead of doing fluffy princesses, I think we're going to do some villainous characters, because they really bring your story to life. Now, I have got some princesses here. I have been drawing some princesses. Now, this is how I normally draw a princess. So big frilly dress, gorgeous, likes a bit of a sing-song and birds and things like that. This is the princess that I've actually been drawing, and she is fantastic, isn't she? I love the fact she's got big boots on and she's going to be having muddy bits on her face, and she's a definite, not a normal sort of princess that you would get in a children's book. And I like alternative traditional stories sometimes. So the books that I've got here, I have got The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, so we could do an alternative character at the end of it. Look how scary that wolf is. Now, we are going to be drawing a wolf today because it's my favourite book character of all time. But we're going to start something easy, okay? We're going to start an easy picture. So grab your pencils, grab your bits of paper. You might have fancy paper, you might have printer paper. It's up to you what you use. You don't need fancy stuff to have a little draw along. So grab your pencils and join me with my troll. Now, when I say the word troll, you are probably thinking of a troll with adorable fluffy hair, lots of rainbow, lots of glitter. When I think about a troll, I think about my first ever book with a troll in. This is very, very old, and it was The Three Billy Goats Gruff, and it was lovely until, look at that scary troll. This used to give me bad dreams. Can you imagine being read that as a child? My mum would go, "Good night, Elizabeth," switch the light off, and I'd be like, ah. So we don't want to draw a troll too scary. What I'm going to do, I've never drawn a troll with this shape. This shape is one of my good shapes that I use for aliens, squids, penguins. Now, this is a magical doorway shape. You can do any sort of size and length. You could probably get a skinny troll and a chubby troll. It's up to you. And this is like a magical fairy door. It is also like a shoe. I don't know what else it's like, but it is a good shape. So draw that on your piece of paper. I'm going to draw this on my piece of paper, and we're just going to go for it. We're not going to worry about going wrong, because I'm probably going to go wrong as well. Okay, now first things first. I think we're going to start with the big nose. And this is for sniffing out. Oh, sniffing out Billy Goat's Gruffs, because he was fed up of them coming across his bridge. Now, I am putting a bit of colour on here. You can always colour your picture at the end. Okay, I'm putting some spots and little dots and things on there, because he's probably got a hairy nose. He's not a great character, but he's good to draw. Now, we're going to make him look like he has a mouth a bit like a carrot. And I know, if you've seen my tutorials before, a carrot is a good shape for a slug on a skateboard. It's also good for puffins. You know, it's a good shape for fish. It's a good shape. Okay, now in there, do you think he's going to have lovely teeth? No, he's never brushed his teeth in his life. Now, he's got stinking breath. He is like an ogre, like Shrek, I suppose, but he is a very nasty character, and he's not like a giant, but he is awful. Okay, now we're going to look at his eyes. I think I'm just going to use, he could have quite big eyes. Why don't we give him a big eye and a squinty eye? Yeah, okay. So he's got a big eye and a little eye. I did tell you I've never drawn this before. Now, I want him to be a bit wonky-eyed. That looks like Barney from The Simpsons, doesn't it? Now, I am going to put some shadow over there. Now, because we're doing an ugly character, it really doesn't matter if you've given him a small eye and a big eye. It's all about having fun with your drawings. It's about having a go. Now, he's going to have ears like this. And he can have an earring if you like. Now, if you're thinking he's got a really big head, we could either turn this into a beard and then do the body, or actually, we could always have a little go at giving him arms and legs and make that his body into his head. So I haven't figured this out yet. So I'm just learning at the same time as you guys. Now, evil eyebrows. This is going to be a feature of the naughty characters, apart from the one at the end. So we're going to do big hairy eyebrows. Can you see? I am going across there. I've also got a giant pen, and my giant pen is really good at doing big hairy things like Hagrid, bears. Okay, now, do you think we could make that into his beard? Or do you think we should make that into his body? I know, I think we're going to turn this into his beard, which I've never done before. So I'm going to get my pen. And I'm going to go round here like that. Now, he looks a bit like a giant, doesn't he, with this beard? Do you think he looks less like a troll now? Oh, I think it looks quite good. Now, if he's a troll, we'll draw little legs down here. So we're going to draw a little dress like that. Now, he hasn't really got a dress on. It's just like an olden days sort of tunic. And we're going to do one leg here and one leg there. Okay, now we are going to give him disgusting feet. So we're going to bend it round. Again, the beauty of a video, a tutorial, you can pause it and go back. So look, I'm coming around here like I would with duck's feet. And then imagine the most disgusting feet. I've just drawn a big toe with little creasy bits behind it. Can't see all the toes. We're going to do disgusting colours. You can always do green toes. I'm going to put a little ankle bone there. And later on, if you want to, you can put some hairs on here. You look like your dad's legs. Or your mum's. Now, how do we make his legs and feet look all stinky? That's right, we put stinky cheese lines on. Oh, disgusting. Now, we're going to give him an arm. So I'm imagining these are his shoulders here. Now, this doesn't look like an arm. It looks like a teapot cup, doesn't it? I want to make him look like, oi, get off my bridge, because he is a stinker and he is very, very selfish. It's not even his bridge, probably. And to make it look like he's got raggy clothes, I'm putting a ziggy-zaggy line there. And I'm also putting a bit of grey on. Now, if I was putting colour on, I'd probably mix a bit of grey with a bit of green. So I've got a bogey green here. And again, I'm just using my crayons like I always do. And I'm just very quickly mixing them together. Now, we want to draw his hand going, oh, so it's this hand. And I'm going to come round. I'm going to put our ziggy-zaggy line on here. And he's going to have a clenched fist. Now, have you ever drawn a clenched fist before? It's really hard. I normally draw Roman soldiers and Greeks with spears. We're going to draw a thumb like that. Now, he could have a club in his hand. Now this is really hard. Look, I've only given him 3 fingers. Okay, I'll draw that again for you. So I did a wrist, a thumb, and then I just did 1, 2, 3 sausages. Now that comes with practice, guys. That is a really hard thing to do. If you want to make him look like he's waving, you can just do a normal hand. Can you see I've lost a finger there? Because that's what us illustrators do sometimes. If you want to make him look like he's shaking his fist, like grr, you can do. If you want to draw a club, have you got space? I might draw like a bit of a stick or a club. There, he's got a big club. That's made out of wood. So I've got a browny green here, which is quite a nice colour. And we haven't finished yet. We need to go over here. Now, if you want his chinny beard to just start around here, you can do. But what I think I'm going to do is come around here. Now, he is such a grotty character. This has actually turned out to be quite a hard picture, hasn't it? And then what I would do is I would colour all this in really dark. Now, I am not running out my good big pen on this stinky old troll. So what I'm going to do is put some scritchy scratch. Now, when I colour in like this, little kids, especially those reception kids, they'll say, Liz Million, you're scribbling. You're not allowed to scribble. But actually, I do scribble when I'm trying to do some texture. So he's very hairy. He is very hairy here. And underneath his body, he has got shadow. Now, you can give him a gingery beard, a brown beard, a purple beard. It's up to you. And then to make it look like this is made of wood, I've got some lines on. So that looks like more liney like wood and less like a chicken drumstick. I don't think he could do much harm with a chicken drumstick. And then, because I've just done that in my crayon, I'm going to come around here. Now, you can give him red eyes if you want. I think I might give him red eyes. There we go. And this is just a magical sort of fairy tale character, isn't it? He doesn't really exist, so we sort of know what trolls look like, don't we? Now I'm going to just put my greeny colour on here, and this is what I do. I think about what else I could colour in. So he's got a horrible outfit. Could have little patches on if you like. Again, we could put some green toenails or grey toenails on him, and we want him to be jumping out from his bridge. So he's just standing on his bridge like this, okay? So this makes our picture look a bit 3D. So he's standing in the middle and he's going, oi! So we don't need much more detail. Okay, that's our first one. We can also give him an oi speech bubble. He is gross, isn't he? Now I'm going to put a little wrinkly line there, and I think I'm quite happy with that troll. Put your name on your pictures, guys, because it's good to sign your work. And I've still got pictures from when I was your age, okay? And it's a lovely thing to keep them. Okay, how did you do with your first troll? Was it easy, hard, or okay? I did say we were going to be drawing the big bad wolf, but he looks really cute, doesn't he? But then I'm going to have a little look in his tummy because I think he might have already had his breakfast or his lunch. So like, oh, he's got Granny in his tummy. I did tell you they were very naughty. He is cute though, but look, this is what he does. He goes, yeah, he gobbles up Granny. So big bad wolves, how rude. Big bad wolves gobble up little pigs, grannies, little Red Riding Hoods. They are just very naughty, naughty characters. Now, on this bit of paper, we are going to draw. This is quite a tricky shape, okay? And if you've seen my drawings before, you know that this is my fabulous bean. And can you see I've left a little bit of space underneath? So my big bad wolf, I think I'm going to draw him in a nightie, jumping, going, rah, looking really terrifying. Now, if you can't do that shape, why don't you pause the video and have a little practice? Sometimes they might look a bit more like a potato. Do you know what? It really doesn't matter. Okay, so back to our picture. I'm going to do a baked bean. Now, baked beans are wonderful for hippos, rhinos, dogs, wicked witches. We are going to draw two big ears on top of his head. Now, he has dressed up in Granny's nightie and he is jumping out of the bed, about to gobble up Little Red Riding Hood. So we want to put two eyes on, looking down at her because she's quite small, isn't she? She's very meek and kind and really nice, unlike that horrible Goldilocks. Now we're going to come over here and we are going to do a big nose. And look, I've left a little bit of white there. Can you see? That makes him look shiny nosed. I'm going to do some little lines here. And if he was a big, friendly wolf, he would have a smile. And I do have characters in books. And this is an alternative story. And he was really, really sweet. But then he tried to gobble up a granny. And he called on little Fred's other granny. And she was like a big, scary bodybuilder. So he's going to have a licky tongue, sharp teeth. He still looks friendly, doesn't he? So you need those eyebrows on, guys. So eyebrows, eyebrows. Now, if you've got a pen, you can always use a pen. Now I'm going to put some shadow around his eyes to make him look mean. Now he hasn't got Granny's hat on. It's flying off. So I'm going to do two lines because his disguise is not needed anymore. He's whipped his hat off. Now this looks a little bit like a sort of jellyfish. So I'm just going to do a potato with little legs. And that is like a mop cap. Okay, so that is a mop cap that you might see in a Victorian museum or something like that. And you can always put a little frilly bow on it if you want. Okay, there's a little frilly bow. I can't quite reach up there, but you get the idea. So this big bad wolf, he's got a big licky tongue. He is big, bad and greedy. Now back to our picture. He has got a skinny neck. He looks a bit like an Alsatian, doesn't he? So what I'm going to do is put some fur around the edge of his face. Look how hairy he looks now. Perfect. Now you might have a long skinny nose. You might have a squished up wolf. They're ugly creatures, so it's fine. Actually, they're gorgeous, aren't they, wolves? I love them. Now we are going to draw a nightie. She's been down Marks and Spencer's, poor granny, and she got a lovely nightie for Christmas. But the big bad wolf is in it. So he is going to be going, rah. Have you got space up here for an arm? So we're going to put a little sausage here and a sausage here. So he's got sort of cuffs on, do you know, like a billowing granny's nightie. And I'm just putting a little bit of colour on. Now they are also quite good for gingerbread man hands, but we need to put our scary hands on, our claws. So I'm going to put a thumb, 1, 2, 3, and another thumb, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now remember, pause that if you want to. You can go wrong as many times as you like. Your brain has never done that before. It's a hard thing to get right. So do not get frustrated when your brain can't do something, okay? It just doesn't know how to do it yet. So the more times you do it, the better you get. Now, I've been an illustrator for 24 years. I know, a long, long time. And I went to university for a long time too. And what would be quite nice here, we could put some fur coming out like that. Now, I think Little Red Riding Hood, she should have gone to the opticians, because how does she think that this is her granny? It's got a hairy chest. That does not look like anyone's granny, unless you are a wolf. Now, back down to here. We need to come down here. We need the biggest feet ever. So we're going to come down, just like these trolls' feet. Do you remember how to do those? 1, 2, 3. And this time we're going to bend his leg round like this. Okay, this is tricky. And if you're very little, you might be thinking this is a little bit of a hard video. But I like to see what you do, because I think you should never ever underestimate an infant, because infants surprise me every time I see them. I think, oh, this crocodile's going to be too tricky, or this dragon, they're never going to be able to do this really well. Do you know what? They always amaze me. So well done, little ones, if you haven't given up. Now, hairy legs. Yeah, we love hairy legs. Now, this looks a bit like my Peggy. She's got little hairy legs, but she's very curly. Now, do we want a tail on there? I think so. Big tail, big hairy tail. And again, we need those action lines. So he is leaping. So what we're going to do, underneath, we're going to do some shadow. Like that. Just do a little line under here. And he is leaping. We could have opened his mouth a bit as well, couldn't we? So he might be shouting. Okay, if you want to make him look even more funny, you can put like a big bow on here. Now, I know you boys are probably going, he's really curly, but this is why it's funny. Okay, because we've got a big scary wolf in a granny's nightie. Okay, in the distance, we're just going to do a floor. And if you've got a gap here, I normally fill it with either a window or a speech bubble. So we could also do roar, because he is jumping out of bed. Speech bubbles give your character a voice. Okay, so even if I didn't have any words, when you are reading pictures, you look into everything. So you're looking at the clothes, what his face looks like, where the background is. So if this was Granny's house, I would probably put furniture in, a bit like a granny. Now, you don't need to do this. This could be her bedside drawer or a table. And she, is it in the olden days? So she hasn't got a lamp, she's got a candle. So the candle might be flickering. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't knock it over. Okay, how did you do with that one? That was super tricky, wasn't it? Okay, now I think we have drawn two very naughty characters. Now, when I say naughty, I mean that they've made bad life choices. They are naughty characters, and sometimes they get their comeuppance, and sometimes they run off into the woods, and sometimes they have a change of heart and they turn good. Like Shrek was a bit scary, and then he ended up all right, didn't he? Big bad wolves are generally quite naughty. Now, the last picture we're going to have a go at, we're going to do a character that has taken the law into his own hands. So he's not quite naughty, but he is quite fearsome. He's like, rah. Okay, so get your pencils ready and we're going to draw our last character. Yes, it's a little pig now. This little pig, he's had enough. The big bad wolf has eaten his family too many times. He has chased them. So this is going to be nephew of the pigs. But actually those pigs didn't get eaten, so it could have been the normal pig. But anyway, he's going to go rogue. He's been to martial art classes and now he is Ninja Pig. Pork chop. Da da da. I was thinking of a really good shape for this, and I thought we could probably just use that doorway shape that we did for the troll. But this time, instead of doing it straight like that, can you do it on a bit of an angle? Because I want him to be coming through at an angle like, wah-yah! Okay, so it looks a bit like a rocket, doesn't it? You can imagine a little alien in there, couldn't you? So draw that as big as you like. And I'm going to come over and down. Now this is going to be a first for me because I love exploring with shapes. First thing we're going to do is put some ears on him. Now piggies' ears are normally over their faces, but if he's flying through the air, he is going to have his little ears going in the breeze. Okay, now nose like a potato, little black dots for nostrils. The kids always say to me, what's a nostril? It's the hole that your finger gets poked into. Yes, you horrible lot. Now, our pig, he's evil. He's wanting to cause problems for the wolf. So he calls on the wolf and he has a big fight with him. So we've got a banana mouth here. And if you want to draw like straight teeth, you can do, but I quite like drawing teeth in. I think they look quite funny. And I'm all about funny, you know me. I like drawing realistic pictures, but nobody ever really gets me to do that sort of thing. I always just do crazy cartoons. So I think this is going all right so far. We're going to do some little eyes. Now, instead of doing big eyes, we're going to do little far apart eyes. Like that. Oh, he looks quite cute. And I'm going to colour them in black, but I'm going to leave a little bit of white. And he's going to be confident. So you could do one eyebrow going down, one eyebrow going up. Or you can put them both going down if you think he's really angry. And if he was angry, his mouth would go down like that slug. Now I'm going to get my black crayon and I'm going to come up and over like that. Now this could be a superhero pig, couldn't it? But we're going to come up and over. Now that is quite tricky, so take your time. If I didn't want to colour it in black, if I found that if I coloured that in and his eyes disappeared, what I would do is I would probably do it with a light grey. And I'm sure you guys have done a bit of karate or a bit of, I don't know, jiu-jitsu, whatever you lot get up to. But you can always tell with the colour of the belts. If you wanted to do a black belt, you can do. Or you could actually be a ninja in all black, couldn't you? I think that's what we decided. If you want to put a little, there, one of those little ties, a bit like my headband. So that's keeping it on his face. It looks a bit like a bird, that, doesn't it? Okay, so if you want to turn this into a girl, I know, we're thinking of alternative stories. Girls are scary too. We could put little eyelashes on if you like. Now, the hands and feet are going to be so easy compared to the other two pictures. I promise you. We want one to be going like that. So this pig has got an arm going up. Da, 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 da. And the other arm is going down. And we're going to put our sleeves on here. Okay. The hand, you could just do an M shape or a W. Yeah, baby. I did tell you, didn't I, that that was going to be super cinchy. Like that. Now, we need to get some clothes on our character. So I think I'm just going to do a line going down and then a line going up. So it's sort of got no neck, but it doesn't matter. And then if you wanted to do a whole black outfit, you can do. Oh my goodness. Now this looks a bit like a beautician's coat, but it isn't. Definitely not. Okay, if you wanted to do like a whole 3 ninjas, you could draw loads of different doorway shapes, couldn't you? You could do a red one and a blue one, like Power Rangers. Now this leg, we're going to do a leg high kicking. Like that. Oh, that's quite tricky. If you want to bend it round, you can do. And this one is going to be like a La for Liz. Yeah! And you could just do a W and a W. And you can see I've just been putting a little bit of colour on as you go along. Again, you can always pause it, go back. put your own colours on as well. And he's going to have a belt. So where this is here, it's got a belt with one of those on. So a little peanut or a potato, whatever, and a little thing there. I can do this with my big pan. Don't be jealous, kids. I know. It's amazing. I have never drawn this before, and I think we've done a really good job there. Now, we do need some brilliant action lines. Now, you could always add the wolf down here going, ah, with like a broken leg. No, don't draw a broken leg, you little horrors. Now, when it comes to colouring your pig, I have got the perfect piggy pink here. You don't have to use this if you want to just keep him white, because some pigs are like a funny colour, aren't they? But look, I'm going to put some little splodges on, because I think pigs have got like little spots and things, haven't they, on them, like splodges, like Gloucester old spots and things. So you can do some there. If you want to put a bit of hair on, you can do. I'm not going to do a hairy girl, because I think that just looks really weird. But look, I've got little rosy cheeks. Now, it's all about action. So look at the ground. The ground is really far away from his leg. He is going, oh, we need a piggy's tail. Now, his tail would be round the corner, but I think it's quite nice if you just get your pink and do like a little curl like that. Sometimes it's easier to colour it in and then go around it. Or you could just do a quick wiggly wiggle. Okay, now, action lines. Boing! Now, I love Bruce Lee films, and he always makes this cool noise. And when we were in the 80s, when we were little, all we used to do was Bruce Lee kicks and jumps. He was fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to put the name up here. Pork Chop, which is not very nice, but it's a really good name. Okay, now put your names on here as well. So I'm going to put my name down here like that. Now, I think that actually started off easy but ended up getting quite tricky. This bit was tricky. I wish I'd done the arm lower down and the clothes were a bit lower down, but do you know what? It doesn't matter, does it? As long as we've had fun. Oh my goodness me! Did you think those characters were easy, hard, or okay? Now, how did you do with the Now, how did you do with those characters? I did tell you we were going to start easy and get a bit harder. That last one was really tricky, but I don't know about you. I think that might have been the best one. Now, me and Lion Little Wolf here are going to go and have a little cup of tea and get into bed and watch a bit of telly, maybe read a few books. We're going to chill out, because reading pictures and seeing stories, it's all about using your imagination, and we have been using ours all day. So we are going to have a little nap, because not all big bad wolves are nasty. He's actually very, very cuddly. So hopefully you have learned something today. Hopefully you've had fun, and hopefully you can go and show your pictures to someone you know, and they will be amazed. Their eyeballs are going to go, ooh. They're going to go, you never did that. And you'll be like, yeah, I did. So if you think your pictures are fantastic, why don't you send a photo to the libraries that you come into? You could always send it to the festival and show them what a wonderful time you've had. Have a gorgeous time at the Reading Pictures Seeing Story Festival 2022. Enjoy your silly selves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.